talking about the game today with Canada and Germany also. Can we talk
Yeah,
about Dennis Schröder and what he did today? Holy cow.
man. Yes, yes, please. I want to hear how you, because that's another Toronto player. So I want to know what you think about Dennis Schroeder and how are they using him? Like we've seen Dennis Schroeder be used in ways like where he was asking for what 80 million at one point. So
Yeah, yeah.
what is there is something there. What is it about Germany? Like what are they doing with him? Like what is was it you're seeing?
Well, in particular, like I was really impressed today with his pace and just how he was directing Germany. He's like I was comparing him on my live stream earlier to like very consistent and deliberate, like a Jeffrey Doughton Jr. You know, no wasted motion, very just fundamentally like really good and all the kind of things he's doing out there. And just really court awareness and just ready to do the right thing in all kinds of situations. We saw him like playing with Dylan Brooks in that one play where he he distracted him and then he took off down the court and got a like a Hail Mary pass right at the basket from his German teammate and made an easy layup. You know, he's really a really smart player. And
Yeah.
as some people from my chat were saying earlier, he is a real true point guard. And compared to Fred, who's really a shooting guard in a point guard's body, that's gonna be the weird difference this year is that Schroeder's gonna be like in some ways a big improvement from Van Vliet. And I'm not trying to diss him or disrespect him, but he's a true point guard kind of thing. And in some ways, his leadership and what he does on the court is going to be very welcome to the Raptors this year.
No, I
So
totally agree. I and you said something about like the not wasting motion. I noticed that. Like, could you expand on that a little bit?
well, it's just different things. Like there was a play in the first game against Canada and Germany last week where he had Dwight Powell on his back, and he felt him lay off of him, and he was kind of posting up on him. He had his back to him, and he's on the baseline. He felt Dwight kind of leave away from him, and he turned and he just burst past him on the
Yeah,
baseline and made a quick layup. It's really
yeah,
just
yeah,
like being aware and in charge and kind of like that's how he's setting tempo and pace for the game is like really watching spacing and seeing where his guys are going. You see the crazy passes he's throwing over to Franz all of a sudden for threes. You know, he tried to do a pass today which was ridiculous. He would try to go in the lane and he twisted and turned and he threw the ball over his shoulders in the air, an alley oop to Daniel Tice, which
wow,
they didn't connect. But if he had done it, it would have looked so crazy. Let's just put it
yeah.
that way. Because he was like up in the air and he threw it over his shoulder, no look, and he was trying to do an alley oop, which was absolutely nuts. So
So,
I'm
do you
excited
think?
about Shooter.
Yeah, I mean, me too. So, do you think we could get that like a little bit like? And do you think our coach right now, Darko? Do you think he's watching what Germany's doing and taking something from that, like especially what you said with the not wasting motion, like that continuous harmony. Like, are they learn? Is Darko watching them closely?
I'm sure he is. I mean, we got to remember the relationship between Darko and Dennis goes way back to Oklahoma City, and they're
Wow.
familiar with each other. Like Nick and Fred had a connection. Well, Darko and Dennis already had that connection before coming in the season. This is part of the reason why when Fred took the bag and went to the Rockets, the Darko probably asked Masai and Bobby, it's like, this is the list of who's available. He said, get Schroeder right now
Okay.
because
Okay.
I work with him in OKC and we know each other. And,
Mhm.
and Dennis has been saying that on his YouTube channel for a couple of weeks that, yeah, I know the coach really well. And then Darko met him at the airport, at the hotel when he came in on that open gym. You saw that. And I'm telling you, there's already a personal shorthand connection and working relationship between our coach and Dennis. So
Yeah.
it's they already
Mm.
know each
Um,
other. I think they may even be able to say, "Oh, you remember that time in Oklahoma City when this happened?" And like, who knows that kind of stuff. So
yeah. And I'm gonna be honest. I mean, by default, I've always been a Raptor fan since Damian Stoudemire. But I mean, like this is one of the first years where I've been really excited because I have no clue what I'm gonna see is, you know what I mean? And it's interesting. I'm like, especially with the pick, getting Grady Dick, we know he wasn't supposed to be there at the 13th pick. You know, and the fact that we got him there at that pick and everything else, like you said, with Schroeder, and you know, I'm really excited to see what happens.
It's weird because we're 50% last year, 41 and 41, and it can really
Mm.
go either way. And like a
Yeah,
lot of
yeah,
people are already just saying, oh, they're going to suck next year. Oh, they're going to suck. And a lot of those people are going to look at everything like the additions of subtractions on the piece of paper in their Sports Illustrated or Sporting News. And they're going to look at all the teams and say, oh, this is who left, Fred and Nick. Oh my gosh, the Raptors are going to suck. They're just going to look at
right.
that, and
Mhm.
they're going to immediately make all their choices and decisions on figuring out what we're going to do just from that. And it's not going to be fair. Watch.
Yeah, especially with Barnes, this what's his third year, which they say that third year. And I do believe it. This is the year where we should see what Barnes is gonna, you know, turn out to be. And that with everything else, no, I think we're better than we were last year, and to be honest. So yeah.
I'm excited. Like I think I have a lot of faith in Darko. I mean, if you've seen some of the open gym clips in the last week, they're like playing. They're getting the driving range, hitting the golf balls. They're playing rock paper scissors. I mean, they're doing some
Okay.
bizarre stuff around the team right now, and this is weird kind of team building kind of stuff. And like, I don't know. There's something about Darko that's totally different than Nick Nurse that's gonna make things this year like have a. I really do think that the Memphis Grizzlies vibes last year, partly the way they were with Dylan Brooks in the hallway and stuff, it has a little bit to do with Darko and his swag, as he puts it. So
Yeah,
we're going to see this on the team, and then getting Garrett Temple is a weird move that a lot of people are kind of like, why? Why would you do this? You already have Thad and stuff like that. But apparently, this guy is like, I know Bradley Beal called him the best NBA teammate he ever had in his entire career in the NBA. So there's something
yeah.
special about him. So
And
he's
he's
basically
a
like,
lunch pail. He's a lunch pail guy. Like
yeah,
he'll come in every day and do the work. That's what I know for sure about
he'll
him.
he'll be a good example. And
Yeah.
I feel like if they were worried about the vibes, it totally screwed up our team last year. If they really want to have insurance on that, then well, get the presence of Garrett Temple. And that I in some ways I can't argue with that. Sometimes, these end of roster spots are, they're not gonna be anything worth anything anyway. So why not use a guy who will actually have some sort of effect on the team, even if he doesn't play? So
Yeah, no, I agree with you. I totally agree.